Imagine driving from New York to Miami or from London to Rome and never once having to stop for gas. Imagine having absolutely no range anxiety, no hunting for broken charging stations in the pouring rain, and just getting in your car and driving until the horizon runs out. Welcome back to Crownline Reviews, everyone. Today we're looking at a vehicle that is making the entire traditional automotive industry sweat. This is the BYD Qin L DM-i, and it promises something that sounds like absolute science fiction. Over 1,000 miles of driving range on a single tank of gas and a fully charged battery. We are going to find out if this sleek, futuristic sedan is the ultimate road trip machine, or if those massive numbers are just too good to be true. To really understand why this specific car matters so much, we have to look back at where it came from. The BYD Qin family did not start out looking like a spaceship. A decade ago, the original Qin was a quirky, somewhat awkward compact car. It was BYD's early attempt at a plug-in hybrid, and while the underlying technology was promising, the packaging left a lot to be desired. It was a car you bought strictly for the fuel savings, not because you fell in love with how it looked or how it made you feel behind the wheel. Then came the Qin Plus, which smoothed out the rough edges, improved the battery tech, and brought plug-in hybrids to the masses, becoming one of the best-selling cars in the world. But this new Qin L is a completely different animal. It has grown up, it has stretched out, and it has evolved from a budget-friendly commuter into a genuinely premium midsize sedan. It wants to steal buyers away from the Honda Accord and the Toyota Camry, and it has the tools to do it. It fixed the cramped rear seats of the older models, it upgraded the interior materials from basic plastics to soft-touch luxury, and most importantly, it introduces BYD's 5th-generation hybrid system. It respects its heritage of extreme efficiency, but it finally wraps that technology in a body that you actually want to be seen in. Let's look at this thing sitting here in the showroom. If you took the badges off, you might easily guess this was a high-end European sports sedan. The paint is a brilliant, pristine white that seems to glow under the showroom lights, but it is the contrast that really makes the design pop. BYD has given this Qin L a stunning two-tone treatment. Notice the completely blacked-out roof that seamlessly blends into the dark-tinted windows, making the car look significantly lower and wider than it actually is. The side mirrors are also finished in a deep, glossy black, perfectly matching the aggressive black side skirts that run along the bottom edge of the doors. It gives the car a grounded, planted stance, like a sprinter waiting for the starting gun. Moving to the front, the design language is incredibly sharp and focused. The headlights are these piercing, ultra-thin LED strips that look like the narrowed eyes of a bird of prey. They flow perfectly into a sleek, illuminated bar that stretches across the nose, right above the silver BYD lettering. The lower half of the front bumper is where the real visual aggression lives. You have these massive, angular black air intakes with striking vertical LED daytime running lights cutting right through them. It is a bold, confident face that demands attention. And then we have to talk about the wheels. These are not your standard, boring, flat eco-car wheels. They are large, intricate, multi-spoke black alloy wheels with a complex, almost aerodynamic twist to them. They look like turbine blades, perfectly complementing the sporty, futuristic vibe of the entire exterior. When you open the door and slide inside, the futuristic theme continues, but it is wrapped in a very welcoming, comfortable package. BYD is famous for their massive, rotating central touchscreen, and it takes center stage right here on the dashboard. It is like having a high-end tablet mounted to your car. You can press a button on the steering wheel and watch the screen physically rotate from landscape to portrait mode. It is a fun party trick to show your friends, but it is also genuinely useful for looking at long navigation maps. The seats are plush, highly supportive, and covered in a soft, breathable material that feels great to the touch. Because this is the L version, which stands for long, the space in the back seat is absolutely fantastic. You could easily put 2 tall adults back there for a cross-country road trip, and they would have plenty of room to stretch their legs without their knees touching the front seat. Now let us talk about the magic trick hidden underneath that sculpted hood. This car uses BYD's DMI system, which stands for Dual Mode Intelligent. For those of you who might not be car nerds, let me explain how this works in the simplest way possible. Imagine you have 2 workers powering your car, a strong, silent electric motor and a traditional gas engine. In most older hybrid cars, the gas engine does most of the heavy lifting, and the electric motor just helps out a little bit when you accelerate. The Qin L flips that concept completely upside down. In this car, the electric motor is the star of the show. It drives the wheels almost all the time, giving you that smooth, silent, instant power that makes electric cars so fun and relaxing to drive. The gas engine is mostly just there to act as a generator. It quietly runs in the background to create electricity and keep the battery charged up while you are driving. Because the gas engine is only running when it absolutely needs to generate power. And because it runs at its most efficient, steady speed, the fuel economy is absolutely mind-blowing. BYD claims that with a full charge of the battery and a full tank of gas, this car can travel over 1,200 miles. Let that sink in for a second. That means if you have a 30-mile commute to work every day, you could potentially go an entire month without ever visiting a gas station. You just plug it in at home at night, exactly like you do with your smartphone, and wake up to a full battery every single morning. For short trips to the grocery store, running errands, or dropping the kids at school, you will not use a single drop of gas. It is the perfect stepping stone for people who want the quiet, smooth experience of an electric car, but are still a little bit nervous about taking long road trips without a gas tank as a backup. But what does it actually feel like when you push the start button and pull out onto the street? The very first thing you notice is the absolute silence. Because it prioritizes electric power, it glides away from a stoplight with zero engine noise and zero vibration. It is incredibly peaceful inside the cabin. The steering wheel feels light in your hands, making it very easy to maneuver around tight city streets or crowded parking lots. It is not a heavy, difficult car to wrestle with. It is completely effortless. When you do need to merge onto a fast-moving highway, you just press your foot down and the electric motor delivers a smooth, continuous wave of power. There are no gears shifting, no engine roaring, just a seamless push forward. Now, I want to be completely honest with you because that is what we do here at Crownline Reviews. This is not a sports car. Despite the aggressive black wheels, the sporty side skirts, and the sharp headlights, the suspension is tuned entirely for comfort, not for racing around tight corners. If you take a sharp turn too fast, you will feel the car lean a little bit. The steering, while very easy and comfortable, does not give you a lot of feedback from the road. You do not feel every little bump and crack in the pavement through the steering wheel. For 99% of the driving that most of us actually do, commuting to work in traffic, running errands, taking the family on a weekend trip, that soft, comfortable ride is exactly what you want. It absorbs potholes and rough city roads beautifully, keeping everyone inside relaxed and happy. Let us talk about what it is actually like to own this car day in and day out. The reality of living with the Qin L DM-i is all about saving money and reducing your daily stress. Your running costs are going to plummet. Electricity is generally much cheaper than gasoline, so if you are diligent about plugging it in at home, your monthly fuel bill will be a fraction of what it used to be. Maintenance is also simpler than a traditional gas car. Because the electric motor does so much of the braking for you, a process called regenerative braking, your physical brake pads will last significantly longer. And because the gas engine runs less often and under much less stress, it requires fewer oil changes and less general upkeep. However, there is a catch, and it is something you really need to consider before buying. To get the absolute most out of this car, you need to have a place to plug it in at home or at work. If you live in an apartment building with no access to a charger and you have to rely solely on public charging stations, the magic fades a little bit. You will end up using the gas engine more often, and while it is still very efficient, you will not see those incredible, mind-bending range numbers. This car rewards owners who treat it like a giant appliance, plugging it in every night so it is ready to go the next day. If you can do that, it is an absolute joy to live with. I want to ask you guys watching right now, how often do you actually drive more than 50 miles in a single day? Think about your daily routine. For most of us, it is just a quick trip to the office, maybe a stop at the gym, picking up some groceries, and then back home. If that sounds like your life, a plug-in hybrid like this could completely change your relationship with the gas station. Let me know down in the comments what your daily commute looks like, and if a car that goes over 1,000 miles on a tank would change your life. I read every single comment, and I love hearing how you guys use your vehicles in the real world. So it is time for the final verdict. Who is the BYD Qin L DM-i actually for? This car is for the pragmatic family. It is for the long-distance commuter who is tired of watching their hard-earned paycheck disappear into the gas tank every week. It is for the person who loves the smooth, quiet, high-tech feel of an electric vehicle, but still wants the ultimate freedom to drive across the country on a whim without planning their route around charging stations. It offers a brilliant bridge between the old world of gasoline and the new world of electricity, wrapped in a package that looks genuinely fantastic sitting in your driveway. We should look elsewhere. If you are a hardcore driving enthusiast who loves the sound of a revving engine, the mechanical feel of shifting gears, and carving up mountain roads on a Sunday morning, this is not your car. The Qin L is too polite, too quiet, and too focused on comfort to thrill a driving purist. It is an appliance, but it is an incredibly advanced, beautifully designed, and highly efficient appliance. It does exactly what it promises to do, and it does it better than almost anything else on the road right now. The automotive world is changing faster than ever, and cars like this are leading the charge. It proves that you do not have to sacrifice style, space, or comfort to get unbelievable efficiency. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today here at Crownline Reviews. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a friend who is tired of paying for gas. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road and remember, the best journeys are the ones where you never have to stop.